Hi, let me tell you about the movie The Shining. Subscribe our channel and watch retellings of your favorite movies and TV series. Each video saves at least an hour of your time. Writer Jack Torrance comes to an interview with the owner of Overlook Inn, Stuart Ullman, with the goal of getting a job there as a caretaker for the winter. For 5 months, he plans to live with his wife Wendy and son Danny in an empty hotel, cut off from the rest of the world by snowy blockades, and work on his own novel. Ullman tells him that one of the previous caretakers at the hotel, Dilbert Grady, went crazy after a 5-month imprisonment, killed his wife and 2 of his daughters, and committed suicide. However, this story does not make much for an impression on Jack, and he gets the job. Meanwhile, things are not going well to the Torrance family. Danny Torrance constantly communicates with Tony's invisible friend, whom he describes as the boy who lives in this mouth. Jack and Wendy believe that Tony is nothing more than a figment of their son's childhood imagination, but Tony is unable to foresee the future and show Danny scenes from the past. Tony does not like the upcoming 6-month trip to the mountains, and when Danny asks him why, he slips the boy a hallucination in the form of 2 elevator cabins, from behind the doors of which Gian streams of blood and gushing. Mother finds Danny in a trance and shows the doctor, but he does not find a physical disasters. From a conversation with his mother, it turns out that strange things with Danny and the appearance of Tony began to occur after his father got drunk and dislocated his arm. Now, Jack has stopped drinking, promises that if he takes even a drop of this mouse, his wife has right to leave him. The family moves to the hotel on the closing day of the season, and they are given a tour. The chef, Dick Halloran, who has the same gift of the telepathy as Danny, guesses a kindred spirit in the boy and, left alone with him, tells Danny that their gift can be called radiance, that is, they can see more than others. Danny asks if there is anything in the hotel to be wary of, and Dick advises him to avoid the room 2037. Dick gives a clue to the whole movie. He tells the boy that some events can leave a mark, like burnt toast leaves a smell. A month later, Jack's work on the novel begins to stall. He becomes irritable and begins to suspect that the root of troubles is in his wife. Meanwhile, Danny is haunted by visions. From time to time, he meets 2 twin girls killed in the 70s or since the murder of his mother and son. Finding the door of room 2037 open, he decides to go in. After a while, Wendy hears the screams of Jack, who has fallen asleep at his desk. When she wakes him up, they says that he's had a dream in which he killed her and Danny. Danny then unexpectedly appears with bruises on his neck and a torn collar of his clothes. Wendy assumes that the father raised his hand to the boy again. After a quarrel with his wife, Jack enters the hotel's golden hall with the words, "I would give my soul now for a sip of booze." Suddenly, in the hall, he finds a familiar bartender, Lloyd, and the empty bar is full of booze. The bartender pours him a drink, and Jack, who did not find money in his pocket, does not notice that he sold his soul for a drink. Wendy runs to the bar and tells her that Danny told her how he ran into a woman in room 2037 who tried to strangle him. The bartender and all the booze also disappeared instantly. Torrance goes to the room 2037 and discovers a naked beauty there. He kisses her, but noticing her reflection in the mirror, the decaying corpse of an old woman, Grady's wife, leaves the room in horror. The old woman follows him, laughing ominously. Jack again comes to the Golden Hall, where he expectantly stumbles upon a hall party. There he meets Grady in the form of a waiter and tells him that he knows about the terrible deeds. He in response says that he has always been only a writer, but Jack is the caretaker. Then Grady says that he punished his wife and daughters, and then Jack needs to be careful, as his wife turned out to be stronger than everyone thought. Wendy comes to the conclusion that he should take Danny on the snowmobile to the doctor. She decides to talk with Jack and goes down to the Colorado Hall when Jack was working on the book. she discovers that everything Jack wrote in a month for work is one meaningless phrase repeated many times on each printed page. One job, no idleness, poor Jack knows no fun. Suddenly, Torrance appears. He is furious and accuses his wife of not understanding the responsibility he has been given. Terrified, Wendy stuns him with a baseball bat. She then drags Jack into the kitchen and locks him in the food pantry. Wendy runs to the garage, only to discover that Jack has previously disabled the snowmobile. After a while, Jack hears Grady's voice, who urges him to complete this intention. Grady takes a promise from Jack to fix the situation and releases him from the closet. Having got out of captivity, Jack goes upstairs and, with the help of an axe, breaks into the room where his wife and son were hiding. However, Wendy manages to hide in the tub. She opens a small window leading to the street. Wendy helps Danny climb out the window, but she can't squeeze herself through, and when Jack, having cut through the door, tries to get inside, she cuts her husband's hand with a kitchen knife. At this time, Dick Halloran from Danny had previously managed to contact with the help of this gift, finally arrives at the hotel and goes inside. Jack is distracted by the noise of all-terrain vehicle outside the window, leaves his wife and goes to the look for a cook. After some time, he kills Halloran and chases after his son, but he, escaping, leads him to the labyrinth garden located on the territory of the hotel. At this time, Wendy runs around the hotel in search of her son and finds terrible ghosts and the corpse of the cook. Jack loses her bearings in the maze and frantically tries to find son, but Danny manages to pull off a bunny trick with footprints in the show and get out. Danny and Wendy climb into the cook's snowmobile and drive away, and Jack, never leaving the labyrinth, dies from the cold. Spectators see a clear morning at the next day and Jack's corpse frozen in the snow up to his chest with a terrible grimace on his face. The final frame shows the hotel wall with photographs depicting the most insignificant events in the life of the hotel. In a group photo depicting a ball held on 1921, Jack is smiling among the crowd. Did you like this movie? Tell us your opinion in the comments below this video.